Howdy, it's RB and Leanne with AFKdays, and today we're continuing our adventures in Big Bend National Park. We're going to take the river road and explore places of Big Bend in our Black Series trailer that neither one of us have ever been to before. We're staying at the Johnson Ranch tomorrow night. We've got it for 2 nights here in Big Bend National Park. We have a book of roads in the park, and it talks about what's along each one of the roads and what the conditions are like, and so we're trying to figure out the best, most fun route to get to our campsite for tomorrow. We are getting ready to head down the river road to Johnson Ranch. This is our first test with the Black Series on more ruggedized terrain. I'm looking forward to it. Like we're ready to go.
From end to end, the river road is 51 miles in length. The road passes through the remote southern portion of the park, roughly connecting the areas near Rio Grande Village and Castellon. River Road is maintained for high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicles only. After rains, River Road is extremely muddy and may quickly become impassable to all vehicles. During our trip, it was the dry season and the road was in really good condition.
A little bumpy here, not bad though.
Nope, we're 2.3 miles in.
Pretty good road. Nothing too difficult.
A couple of low washes.
Johnson Ranch campsites are located 38.4 miles from the east end of the road, which is where we started. The campsite is 15.6 miles from the west end.
This is the river road. It's facing north. We're headed south. It's supposed to be an old town, the remains of a town around here somewhere, but can't seem to find anything. One thing I learned on this trip was just how many settlements came and went in the Big Bend region.
This area used to be San Vicente, Texas, and there's supposed to be some old rock and adobe house ruins along the way if you search for them. We saw this from the road while driving and thought it might be a ruin, but I don't think so.
At this point, we were in awe of the beautiful scenery around us and less concerned about the conditions of the road. This feeling did not remain.
These ruins are what remains of Rooney's place. These ruins can be found about 0.4 miles off of the road. I will say that Rooney, whoever he was, had a really nice view. It's Mexico over there.
We took advantage of our optimism and made frequent stops to explore and to take pictures. But that would soon change.
Well, that didn't sound good. Yeah, it's like they look bent. Oh. I see now. That is the low point. Well, who needs stairs, I guess. So that wash was like the first real obstacle. How do you think it did?
Did okay. Took out the stairs though.
Yeah.
They're still there, but I'm kind of curious to see if they'll function this evening.
Probably not. We were a
well.
little worried about those, but
Yeah, not critical.
after the damage and some rough spots, we continued on, realizing this was not going to be as easy as we had thought.
We had planned to make between 20 and 30 miles per hour. We were struggling to make 15. We're about halfway.
Big Bend has a rich quicksilver mining history. Mariscal Mine is probably the most popular point of interest on River Road. The mine district contains at least 60 documented structures. We had planned to explore the mine up close, but we were worried about losing daylight as our pace was drastically slower and we knew we weren't even to the roughest part of the road yet. We made the right call and continued on after exploring the lower area.
The further west we went, the rougher the road became.
A little bit of washboard is always fun, right?
Yes. Shake everything up. Well, we've traveled almost 25 miles down the river road, averaging about 10, 11 miles an hour. We're a little over halfway. Hopefully we'll be there the next hour or two. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been kind of fun. Kind of curious to see how the trailer turns out. Stopped and talked to a park ranger that was driving by. He said he'd never seen anybody tow anything this big out here before. Makes me feel a little proud and a little concerned that maybe I've doing something that probably shouldn't do. We'll see. This trip was taking longer than we planned, so we started to focus on getting to camp before sunset, which meant fewer stops to explore this beautiful country. I don't know, it seems awful long to maybe just 10 more miles.
Uh-oh. The Diamondback popped open.
The what?
The Diamondback popped open.
Well, that's fun. She's gonna need a bath. Onwards!
We saw Domingos.
Alright.
We're almost there.
Makes you feel a little better. According to the ranger, the gate signaled that the road was supposed to get really rough. We were already tired and were supposed to be drinking margaritas at camp by now. Little did we know that this would be the roughest 6 miles of the entire road. The next 6 miles took us over an hour. There was no place for us to turn around a 26-foot trailer and make it back to civilization before nightfall. We were committed to making it to Johnson's Ranch. That one would have been nice.
Yeah. We just put our hitch and four-wheel drive to the test.
There were several places with steep drop-offs on one of both sides of the road. It took a lot of concentration to stay focused, especially after the long trip we've had. This was one of the most intense moments for me on the entire trip. As we climbed this hill, I lost sight of the road. At the last second, I saw the road go to my left and I cut the wheel hard. Luckily, we stayed on the road. I have never seen such a beautiful sign. It made it all the way down to the Johnson Ranch. The last 6 miles were pretty brutal. This is what 37 miles down Big Bend National Park's River Road does to a Black Series trailer. Jacked up the stairs. Hit a low point. It even bent the metal on the stairs, but it also looks like it bent the stair housing. The tires look good. You can see all the scrapes along the side and on the diamond plating. These seem to hold it pretty well. The other big damage we have is the connector for the tanks, and the housing is bent. The hose going to the gray tank has come off. Luckily, the gates remain closed. Another issue is the microwave is now off center. We'll need to pop this off and see what's going on and why it's placed with the drop off.
Yeah, like the curvy, and it was just like a drop off on your side.
Yeah.
Real close to the road.
It was a lot more.
It looked scarier than it was.
It really wasn't bad till it turned on till it changed, you know.
It's a view of our campsite from above. Nice and secluded. Come up top and you get the mountain views and the ruins. Not a bad setup.
We survived. And cooking in style.
Can't beat this.
Well, we're not alone out here. It's at least a cow.
The Rio Grande River is accessible by following winding livestock trails through thick mesquite and brush. So we set off from our campsite in search of the river. Oh, I see it.
It's like going through a maze.
Yeah.
All the cow trails.
Yeah, and then we have like a corn, instead of a corn stalk, it's a river cane maze ahead.
We went for a walk around the Johnson Ranch. There is a lot of leftover artifacts here from the ranch and the Army Air Station. Johnson Ranch has a colorful history that we were not aware of when we picked this site. The ranch and trading post were the homestead of Elmo and Ada Johnson. Later, an Army air base was built here. On April 24, 1929, the Army Air Corps established a landing field at the Johnson Ranch. This was in response to several border incursions by Mexican bandits. For nearly 15 years, the Army used this as a forward staging base to protect the border, as well as a training facility. This was a popular spot for pilots for a weekend getaway, not to mention the hospitality of Ada Johnson and her fine cooking. The base was ran by Elmo Johnson, who provided civilian dominance over the field. At its height, it had 3 runways and could be used at night with 2 lanterns to guide pilots in. It was a safe, all-weather operational facility for emergency combat aircraft. With the border quieting down and World War II heating up, the base was replaced with other locations that were on more popular traffic routes. Finally, in 1943, the base was shut down. When you come out to explore this interesting piece of Big Bend history, please don't take any of the artifacts.
And tomorrow, we get to pull that up this hill. Are you ready?
Just about. And now we're back, chilling under the awning from the Texas sun. And this is what roughing it looks like when you're on a Black Series. Afterwards, we're gonna probably go explore a little bit and do a little bit of maintenance around the trailer before we hit the road tomorrow.
One last Big Bend sunset.
Good morning. It's our second night at Johnson Ranch. We had a guest. This is a 2-spot campsite. Somebody else showed up right before dinner time. And they're parked over behind me. We cooked dinner last night, as you saw. And afterwards we sat around outside and watched the stars come out. And then we took some pictures of the stars. We're still pretty new with the astrophotography stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And we went up on top and took some of the Chico's Mountains, and then went to bed. We're up early this morning to head on down the river road. We've got 15 miles to go. We're gonna try to do it in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Just take it nice and slow, and then we got to drive out of Big Bend area. Not sure where we're headed to next. We got a couple options. When we get back into cell phone service, we'll figure it out and see where we're going to end up tonight. We're both kind of sad to be leaving Johnson Ranch, but we need to get the sewer issues resolved. The trailer has done great. This is our 4th night of boondocking. We're slowly discovering the limits of the electrical on the Black Series. It's starting to impress. We haven't gotten below 70% on the 4 nights we've been in it, so that's good. We always turn the inverter on there on the coffee. We use the microwave a few times, but the solar panels do a great job of whenever the sun goes down, we're usually at 100%. More of the sunrise. Keep coming. Keep coming. We had originally planned to go back the way we came. After the excitement of getting to Johnson Ranch, we scouted out the remaining 15 miles, which seemed easier and faster. Plus, it would allow us to complete the entire length of the river road. So we chose the last 15 miles. Two miles in, 13 to go. Big Bend surprised us again. It was fun driving through the compressed volcanic ash. We got up early to hit the road to make sure we had plenty of time. We didn't see anybody else out here. It was a threshing circle.
Going good so far.
Yep, just over 4 miles. We were pleasantly surprised with how well the trailer handled this rough terrain. We would not have attempted this trip in any other RV.
Alright, that little lean made me nervous. I know that's the hitch doing its job, but looked a little sketchy.
5.5.
5.5, and we have a beautiful smooth road. I like it. This is what smooth looks like. in the hills, so time to hang on.
Probably the biggest hill we'll have to climb.
Yeah. We made it.
Yeah. It was a cool overcast morning with the sun peeking through here and there. It felt like golden hour would never end.
Once we spotted Santa Elena Canyon, we knew we were getting closer to the pavement.
Just crossed 13 miles. 2 more to go.
Almost there. You're good.
Well, this could have gone better. Sometimes you just gotta keep going forward. If we hadn't already bashed the steps in, we would have done it here. As bad as this looks here, it's way less exciting than the trip in. We made it. 15.1 miles. We did okay. The big issue was a few more scratches along the side, and we hitch hit the ground a couple of times on some washouts, but not bad, not bad. Took us about, what is it? Almost exactly 2 hours to go 15 miles. So that will tell you anything, that nice and slow, less bumps, right, Leanne?
Yes, this one was less bumpy, less sketchy areas, less low clearance areas.
Yeah. The nice thing is we got out around 8:30 this morning, and so the sun was still coming up, and now check everything out and get on the road and head north.
Back to the pavement. Not a cabinet open. I mean, our cushions fell off, but not a big deal.
Job stood up. I'll see how it does with highway driving. Dirt caked everywhere. Drug this thing into the backcountry on roads that we hadn't been on before that were sketchy. Made it just fine. Woke up this morning, had Keurig coffee, slept in a nice bed, had a flushing toilet. Well, this concludes our Big Bend adventure. We ran a race, spent some time in Terlingua, and tested out the Black Series trailer. Now we're headed home to make some repairs to the trailer.